If love is enough, why do so many people say it won't survive? When she first told her friends about him, they smiled politely. That's exciting, they said, but then came the pause. Egypt? One of them asked. And he's religious? When he told his family about her, they asked different questions. Is she Muslim? Will she accept our ways? What about the children? Before they even built a life together, the world had already started placing doubts around them. She was from London, raised in a culture where personal freedom was normal. She made her own choices. She questioned things. Faith, for her, was something private, something you explore on your own. He was from Cairo, raised in a close family where tradition was not pressure, it was protection. Faith was not just belief, it was daily life. It shaped how you speak, how you eat, how you celebrate, how you raise children. They met during a summer trip to Spain, two strangers escaping their normal routines. It started simple, a conversation about music, a joke about tourists, a long walk after dinner that lasted until sunrise. There was no plan, no expectations, just connection. But connection can be dangerous, because once you feel it, distance doesn't feel safe anymore. After she flew back to London, they started talking every day. Morning texts, late-night video calls. They began learning each other's routines. She would hear the call to prayer in the background when they spoke. He would watch her city lights through her window screen. Slowly, they were no longer visitors in each other's lives. 3 months later, she booked a flight to Cairo. The airport hug lasted longer than expected. That's when it felt real. The first days were beautiful. He showed her the Nile at sunset, introduced her to his cousins. His mother cooked for her and watched her carefully, not with anger, but with quiet observation. She felt welcomed, but she also felt evaluated. On the fourth night, during dinner, his uncle asked the question, "So, if you marry, what religion will your children follow?" The table went silent. It wasn't aggressive, it wasn't dramatic, it was calm. That made it heavier. She wasn't ready for that conversation. Marriage felt far away. They were still learning each other. But for his family, love without direction made no sense. Later that night, she asked him, "Do you expect me to convert?" He didn't answer immediately. "I want us to be united," he said carefully, "in everything." She heard what he didn't say. In London, no one had ever asked her to change her beliefs for love. Relationships were about compromise, yes, but not identity. For him, it wasn't about control, it was about clarity. He had grown up believing that a shared faith creates stability, that it protects the family. They both felt misunderstood, not because they didn't love each other, but because they loved each other differently. When she returned to London, the distance felt heavier than before. Her friends became more direct. Are you going to move there? What if he expects you to dress differently? What if his family never fully accepts you? She defended him every time, but at night, alone in her room, those questions replayed in her mind. Meanwhile, in Cairo, his family had their own conversations. "She seems kind," his mother said. "But will she adapt?" his father asked. "Marriage is not just two people, it's two families," his aunt reminded him. Pressure does not need to shout, it grows quietly. Months passed. He visited London. This time he was the outsider. Her parents were polite. Her father asked about work. Her mother asked about his family. But the real conversation happened after dinner. "If you two marry, will she have to give up her faith?" her mother said gently. He felt cornered. He didn't want to sound strict. He didn't want to lie either. "I believe in raising children in one clear direction," he said. The air changed. Later, she confronted him. "Why does it have to be one direction? Why not both?" He tried to explain. "Children need certainty, not confusion." She replied softly, "Or maybe they need understanding." It was the first time love felt like a debate. Weeks later, she surprised him. "I want to visit a mosque," she said. He was shocked. "Why?" "I don't want to argue about something I don't fully understand." Inside the mosque, she felt nervous. She watched people pray. She noticed the discipline, the unity, the calm. No one pressured her. No one stared. For the first time, she saw his faith not as a rule, but as a rhythm. Later, he went with her to church in London. He listened to the quiet music, the silence, the soft prayers. He didn't convert, she didn't convert, but something shifted. They stopped trying to win the argument. Instead, they started asking better questions. "What scares you the most?" she asked him one night. "I'm afraid our children will grow up divided," he admitted. She answered honestly, "I'm afraid of losing myself." There it was, the real conflict. Not religion, identity, belonging, fear. They realized something important. Love alone doesn't erase differences, it exposes them. So they made a decision, not emotional, but intentional. No forced conversion, no secret expectations. If they marry, their children will learn both traditions. They will explain both beliefs. And when the children grow older, they will choose for themselves. Some people called that risky, others called it unrealistic, but for them it was honest. It wasn't perfect. His extended family still asks questions. Some of her friends still whisper warnings. There are days when cultural differences feel exhausting. Holidays require negotiation. Future plans require patience. Love, they learned, is not just about passion. It's about daily respect. It's about choosing understanding over ego. It's about standing together when both sides pull you apart. The truth is, their story doesn't end with a perfect answer. They are still learning, still adjusting, still choosing each other. Because the real question was never which religion wins. The real question was, can two strong identities stand side by side without trying to erase one another? They don't know what the future holds, but they know this: they are not fighting each other anymore. They are fighting for each other.